I'm really lucky to be joined here tonight with George Groves at the Norwood Cyril Paskin Charity Boxing Night. George, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good to be here.
So what brings you here this evening?
Well, it might be a surprise, it might not. You think he knows. My old amateur coach, Mickey Delaney, he's up for an award. Dedication to boxing or something along those lines. And there was no way I was going to miss it, so I made sure I was down here and see him collect his trophy.
I think you're presenting it, aren't you?
I might be presenting it as well then. And it would be lovely. So yeah, me, Dion Jumar, who's another successful Dow Youth former fighter, doing great things in the pros now. He's down as well, so yeah, we'll be there to present Mickey's award.
Now, I was very lucky to spend an evening with you when you were co-commentating at a boxing show a few weeks ago in Swindon, where a couple of lads that you're involved with were on. One was Luke Watkins, and how did you think he did, and where do you think he's going to go next?
Yeah, Luke boxed very well. He's a cruiserweight, so didn't put a step wrong in that fight really, and showed that he's a class above the guy in front of him. You need fights like that, of course, on the way up, and we don't want to rush him, but at the same time we want to challenge him. So it's a very finite line you need to walk, and he's certainly capable of boxing at a higher level now. But at the same time, I want to keep him busy, keep him active, keep him ticking along nicely. Wicked obviously trained by the same guy, Paddy Fitzpatrick. Paddy's keeping an eye on the guys who are sort of in front of him in the queue in the British scene. We expect Luke to be stepping up to 10 rounders, 12 rounders, eliminators, and ultimately fighting for titles in the very near future. So as soon as we're ready to make those moves, we will. Paddy knows a little bit more than me, I must admit. He's got a fine eye for detail. So yeah, there's guys in front of him. Luke's ambitious. Luke wants to get places. At the same time, for his weight class and his age, he's got plenty of time. So more performances, I think, like we saw in Swindon, fighting in front of the home crowd would be nice, and then on the road as well. So keeping him busy, talking of maybe boxing out in Ireland next. Obviously, my promoters, Sauerland, they've been helpful. They put him out in Germany on the Abraham Smith first fight undercard, and they said whenever you need it, the opportunity's there. They can go out and they can box. So that could be Denmark, that could be Germany, that could be any of the Scandi countries, and also from time to time they put on a show in the UK. So we're keeping busy.
And what about Garry Kelly?
Garry Kelly, yeah, unfortunately Garry didn't get the result we wanted. Was in a tough fight. Again, as I say, you want your fighters to be challenged, so they're in tough fights. He he showed a lot of heart, a lot of class. He got dropped quite heavily in the second round, but got up, got back into the fight. Watching it from ringside, could have well been ahead on the scorecards, but wanted to finish strong. Ended up walking onto another shot and getting stopped. Unfortunate for Garvey. I mean, he's a really nice guy and a very talented fighter. I think certainly he has the potential to go a long way in the professional ranks, and right now don't want to really beat himself up too much about that loss. You do learn along the way. You do have a lot of hiccups. Things can go wrong. I know it. It can go wrong on the biggest stage, and it's even tougher to come back from. So we'll see what he's made of now. I
think also, it was a challenge. Maybe he was a southpaw he was boxing, wasn't it? And maybe that had something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean the guy in front of him is southpaw. So we'd got him good southpaw sparring. Paddy had him in the gym working, and the stuff he's working on was working well. He'll hold his hands up and know that he made mistakes in that fight. Paddy again will hold his hands up and say, there was mistakes that was made in that fight. But at the same time, it's up to Garvey now, to go on and impress. Failure isn't getting put down, it's staying down. So if he wants to be back, he wants to be a champion, which I'm sure he does, he'll come back strong. But we need to do it in the right way. So it's not about rushing him back into another fight. We can do that, but we don't need to do that. So we'll see how he's feeling, we'll see how the gym work's going, and we'll go from there.
Now, you're a great boxer, but you're also involved with these boys, sort of co-managing them. What's it like being the other side of the ropes?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's good practice for me, in all fairness, that when I finish boxing, if there's an avenue I want to go down, it does interest me. And without trying to patronise the lads, they're grown-ups, we let them make their own decisions. But at the same time, they want to come to me and ask me something, I feel I've got a lot of experience, and there may be some things I can share and help them with. At the same time, when you're boxing well, when challenging for world titles, I do have the ability to talk to a lot of people within boxing, a lot of promoters, a lot of TV networks. So hopefully that'll help open the doors for these guys, whether it be in terms of getting them out on shows, speaking to sponsors that can help them out, giving them, just my experience of putting on a show. So I'm enjoying it. I think it's good. It's good for me. I'm learning more and more about the sport, which is always important for any boxer. You can either be totally ignorant as a fighter and know nothing, or you can try and know as much as you can. There's no middle ground, so you don't want to know a little bit and then be wondering what the rest makes sense of. So I'm learning a bit behind the scenes as well.
We're not going to ask you about what's coming up for you, but what I just do want to make sure that the people watching this don't think you're taking a step out. You're still very much a boxer, and we're going to see you later in the year.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll be boxing again end of April, early May, I should imagine. Not sure where, not sure what exactly when, but being a good fight. Obviously fighting for WBC. That is against Anthony Durrell. And Durrell just been granted a voluntary, so we anticipated he would. We was hoping that he would have missed that time period because it was supposed to be last year, but he's been granted it for April. So be it. So we will box him at the end of the year. In the meantime, it's up to us whether we want to box, whether we don't. But yeah, very much not retired yet.
Before we let you go and enjoy the rest of the evening, there's one question I think is on every boxing person's, fans, boxers, promoters, managers' lips. Pacquiao Mayweather. Well, it's on. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's definitely on, and thank goodness. You thought I wasn't sure if there'd be a backlash against it because it didn't happen when people were demanding it at first. But it's boxing; you never get what you want exactly. So it's on, and it's captured the public's imagination already. It's going to be a massive, huge event. It's going to be nothing but a great thing for boxing. I think the fight itself will be one of Mayweather's most entertaining fights. I think you can't watch a Pacquiao fight and not be entertained by it, so he'll draw that out of Mayweather. Asked me to pick a winner, I couldn't. I'm a big fan of both fighters.
You think it's competitive?
I hope so. I hope so. Both fighters have been at times deemed as slipping a touch, and Mayweather's lost a bit of speed, a bit of timing maybe. He's always been called negative at times, but same with Pacquiao. Pacquiao's been said to have lost a bit of edge in the last few fights, but both fighters have been putting good performances. So it's a tough one for me to call. You'd have to say your money is going to be with Mayweather, but at the same time, wouldn't rule out the one man to beat him. Why wouldn't it be Pacquiao?
Thank you very much. Now, the one last thing on that regarding that fight is there's rumours that the ticket prices start at $5,000. Can you believe that?
I can believe it. The MGM's not that big, and I think how many tickets they could sell wherever they went with it. So, yeah, they're going to price out the average fan, but then there'll be people that will be looking to remortgage their house and go there because they want to be part of the biggest fight in history. I hope if they do that, the fight lives up to the ticket price.
Well, George, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for supporting the Cyril Paskin Norwood charity this evening, and we can't wait to see you back in the ring later this year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.